think we're ready.
February 10th, Panama City Planning Board is now in order. Please take the roll.
Board Member Carroll.
Here.
Board Member Stamps.
Here.
Board Member Barker.
Here.
Board Member Rich.
Here.
Chairman Newbauer.
Here. Are there any changes or additions to the agenda?
Staff is requesting that the item 6A be continued to the March 10th Planning Board meeting. We're still working with the applicant to provide some additional information on the as-built survey. In order for us to finalize our staff recommendation in our report, we need this information. So we have been in contact with the applicant, and the applicant is working with us. We just need some additional time to square everything away. So I know we already pushed it before, but we still are working with the applicant to get that information.
Thank you. Are there any announcements or disclosures by the board? You have minutes in your package from the January 13th meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion. Second.
Please take the roll.
Board Member Carroll.
Yes.
Board Member Stamps.
Yes.
Board Member Barker.
Yes.
Board Member Rich.
Yes.
Chairman Newbauer.
Yes. I'm going to read the procedure which the board will follow during quasi-judicial hearings. 1, public hearing announced, introduction of application by staff. Ex parte communication, disclosure by board members. Identification of applicant and affected parties that intend to participate in the hearing. Affected parties that only intend to make a statement may do so at the public participation part of the agenda. An affected party means any person or entity that will suffer an adverse effect to an interest protected or furthered by the ULBC. Interests, including interests related to health and safety, police and fire protection, service systems, densities or intensities of development, transportation facilities, healthcare facilities, equipment or services, and environmental or natural resources. The alleged adverse interest may be shared in common with other members of the community at large, but must exceed in the degree the general interest in community good shared by all persons. Move on to the swearing of witnesses. Our attorney is participating remotely. Mike?
Yeah. Are there folks there that are going to speak on this matter, or either one of the matters on the agenda this afternoon?
Does anyone wish to speak on any of these items on the agenda this afternoon? Okay. Would you please? Go ahead.
If you're, you need to just stand and raise your right hand. All right, Mike.
Okay. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you'll give on these matters will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. All right. That we'll move on to item A.
Okay.
Now, this is one that we table or request to table. Do I have a motion to table this to the March 10th meeting?
So moved. Second.
All right, please take the roll.
Board Member Carroll.
Yes.
Board Member Stamps.
Yes.
Board Member Barker.
Yes.
Board Member Rich.
Yes.
Chairman Newbauer.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right, item B.
Item B is case number VRO 2508. As you all recall, about February, so a couple months ago, there was an application for vacation of right-of-way. As you see on the screen, I have the whole alleyway is hatched now, but there was the original request was to vacate the portion of the alleyway. I think it was the parcels adjacent to, I'm sorry, the portion of the alleyway adjacent to parcels 208 Sherman and the parcel to the south, but it was a smaller piece. And this went before the city commission, and the commission voted to move forward with vacating the entire alleyway. As you are aware, now we're talking about a larger area to be vacated. So that's why this, if it looks familiar, that's why it's coming back to you. And just so you're aware, the alleyway, looking at our records, does extend down. This is our utility map. It does extend quite a ways down. If I don't know how many people are familiar with this area, but I did want to point that out. It does extend past Second Court, but we've been in contact with a property owner that has property adjacent to the extension of the alleyway to the south. And there's some additional research that we need to work work on and work with the property owner. It's a bit more complicated that further south. So with that being said, at this time, staff is only recommending, instead of the actual entire portion, because that was what the city commission asked for, was the entire alleyway. And that what you see there is actually the entire alleyway. But because of some of the information that we got after noticing, in order to work a little bit more and do a little bit more research with that property owner, we are requesting just that section be abandoned at this time.
So the section between Second Place.
Yes, that right there. So now I don't know if the city commission will want to move forward with the rest of the alleyway or not, but just given the information that we have, we're still working with this property owner. It seems there is some old deed language that we need to look further into. So we just want to make sure that we cross our T's and dot our I's. And if it is the will of commission ultimately to come back and vacate that entire alleyway, then of course staff can move forward with that. But given, again, what we know at this time, we think it's safe to move forward with just the northern portion that's north of Second Court.
Any questions for staff, the board? Anyone from the audience here to speak on this item?
I'm trying to figure out what ward it is that y'all trying to get back. Cause I live on that alley. I own property on that. Supposedly.
Please go to the, I heard you state your name and address for the record to record everything, so we gotta.
And please make comment on whether or not you were sworn in.
I was sworn in. My name is Charles
Thank you.
Ray of 211 Main. And so I'm trying to figure out what it is. Y'all saying that there's an alleyway there. It has not been an alleyway since when I was a boy, and I'm 75 years old. My grandmother owned the property I live on. And I don't understand why it's coming back up now.
So, while it hasn't been a used alley, in practicality, it still is in the city's holdings. So this is formally they go through the process to vacate it, and half the alley behind your house is yours, and the other half is your neighbor's. So this is
According to my land survey, it's not there.
Understood.
I agree.
Sure, I can add. So
Backyard neighbor.
yeah, so maybe this, I don't know if this will provide some insight or not. So at the public hearing, and the board members will probably recall this, the owner that originally asked for a vacation of the alleyway did bring up that they also thought that the alleyway had been abandoned. Staff tried to look that up to see. Yes.
I was
Yeah.
working for the city when.
I remember. Yes. So we did. Now, what we were able to find, it does not mean that it doesn't exist, but what we were able to find is actually the piece further north. So I'm going to try to pull this up. So you see the hatch piece in question today that we're discussing today. Further north, that gray rectangular piece to the north of the block that we're talking about, we saw that had been abandoned. So that was the piece that we saw that had a record of being abandoned. And so that is what we were able to find.
The city actually sent out letters
Mm-hmm.
to individual property owners. My mother received it and his father.
Okay. Yeah, so our goal at this time, and we're not disputing any of that. We're just saying at this time, our goal is to just move forward with abandoning this piece and moving forward and making sure everything is recorded and just be done.
How will it be recorded?
So if you talk, I'm sorry, I have to have it come to the microphone, and it's for the record. It's recorded.
Know how it would be recorded.
How will it be recorded then?
So our clerks are, so how it's supposed to happen with ordinances that are supposed to be recorded with the county clerk of court, our city clerk staff actually goes down and records it. So once it's executed, the mayor signs off on it, the city clerk signs off, and then the city attorney signs off on the ordinance, the adopted ordinances, and then they're physically taken down to the courthouse. And that is how that happened.
Don't have to go through this again.
Of course not. Of course
Yeah, well,
not.
I've been paying taxes on it ever since I've been living there, and I've been there since 1990. My grandmother was there in 43,
Understood.
and we paid taxes on that piece of land.
Yeah. Well, this should
Will we
take care of this.
get notification as in a document?
I'm sorry, sir. I've got to have you.
Yeah.
If you want to talk, I got to
Well,
have
we
you
get
come-
notification and a document saying that it's been done?
So the process is here, we make a recommendation to the city commission, goes back to the city commission. I can give you the date on that.
But it's actually going tomorrow, like the first hearing is tomorrow morning.
And they'll decide, apparently they get it back to the house adding it, so I would assume the city commission's favor to vacate it. And then have a second reading
On the 25th of this month, so.
and then it'll be recorded.
Yeah, and then so we'll record it. So we do not send out notifications, a mass notification after an ordinance has been recorded. However, what typically happens is that if you've been involved like you all are, you're welcome to reach out, and we can just send you a copy of the ordinance that's been executed. We do that all the time. Yeah.
We reach out to the planning board of the city.
You can reach out. I can give you my contact information after this meeting, and I can give you the information for my division. You can just reach out to us, and we can forward it to you.
Oh,
So, yeah, we do it all the time.
Will that be individually?
We can send you a copy of it digitally via email.
Every landowner?
No, sir. So what I just said was that if you reach out, so typically in these matters, we do not do a mass mail out once this stuff happens. Like we don't. So, but if you've been involved, like you guys came today, after the city commission adopts it, and then typically it takes a week or two to get the signatures and get it executed and get it recorded, then you're welcome to reach out to our office, and we can forward you the executed document, which would be the signed ordinance. So you just reach out to us, and we're happy to provide that. We do it all the time. So.
Is there anyone else that wishes to speak on this item? Do I have a motion from the board?
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion and second, please take a roll.
Board Member Carroll.
Yes.
Board Member Stamps.
Yes.
Board Member Barker.
Yes.
Board Member Rich.
Yes.
Chairman Newbauer.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thanks. This brings us to the audience participation portion of our agenda. Does anybody else wish to make any comments to this board?
If I wanted to wait for other people to comment if they had comments, but I did want to bring something up to the board.
Sure.
We had a board member reach out, and at least since I've been with the Development Services Department, I can't recall when we've actually discussed like mail outs and packets, and if we want to go fully digital or if we want to kind of approach it the way that we've been doing it all these years. And so I thought, maybe just having that discussion about how the board may or may not want to move forward on that. Staff's preference has always been digital. As you know, it is the least, it is most cost effective option. We are happy though to provide like hard copies once you come to the meeting, because we understand if you don't have tablets, you need those visuals. But as far as mailing out the package, trying to just cut down on that cost, we would really appreciate if the board would take that in consideration. But we could, and I'm open to any suggestions that the board might have, but just working on having the agenda out a little earlier, posting it, and then that is where you could view all of the information. We would still provide the executive summaries, like you already get those electronically anyways. But we just wanted to bring that up because I understand there were some questions about that. So.
Yeah, and I mentioned that because like this mail out just for me was $31, and I feel like I could easily just receive that as an email and save the city that times 5, right? And so I just want to be a good steward of
Absolutely.
the city's money.
And this is actually, I'm glad you brought up that price point, because the reason why it was so high this time is because we did a rush job because we were trying to working with applicants for this agenda. And so when we looked up, we were like, we need to hurry up and get this to them ASAP. And so that's why the cost was the cost. But with that being said, still, if we would have just posted it online and then let you know, then that would still have been a cost savings, and we would have gotten it to you probably the day before you even received your packet. So just food for thought.
Yeah.
Just turned it off. I think what we ought to do is can everybody get email and print it if they wanted to do that? Once you send it, and if you'll just send us an email or text and says, check your email.
Okay.
We'll know it's from you. Then we can get it, and then we don't have to worry with all this paperwork. It'll save a lot of time, energy,
Okay.
and effort. So.
Well, we can still have the paper copies when we come here for the
Yeah, we'll get a paper
meetings.
copy.
And that way, if
Anybody
we
wants a
forget
paper
it or
copy, they'll get it.
whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
paper copy, that's fine, but you eliminate the mail and you eliminate someone else's stuff.
That's
Yeah.
that's fine. So
That'd be
is
my recommendation. So it's
And if anybody wants a paper copy prior to the meeting, they can come to the department,
Yeah.
right, and get a copy. So.
yeah, if you guys, let's say maybe there's a very complex item and you're like, I really would like a hard copy. We understand that. So if you want to come, we can, just let us know in advance. We're happy to print it out. But so my understanding, we'll move forward with just having the agenda posted online, finalizing everything, and just getting it online no later than the Tuesday prior.
and just email it to us.
And so once that link goes out, we will, I typically let you guys, hey, the agenda is now available online. You guys get that email now, but kind of later on, our goal now is to get it out to you basically as soon as possible. So you will still you actually get a couple more days.
Yeah, I was gonna say we get it faster.
You'll
It's
get it
digital.
faster.
It's
Yeah.
so, yeah, it's a way to go.
Yeah, well, it's true. I mean, we can. I mean, it'll give us, that full Friday to finalize everything. So literally, by that Tuesday, you should have it. Yeah. So, and if we can get out earlier, of course, but no later than Tuesday, it would be staff's goal to get that to you.
Cool. All right. I think we don't need to vote or anything.
And it'll include all the same visuals in the email.
Everything will be the same.
I'll be honest, I do like the paper copy. There's something nice about bringing a paper copy and being able to take notes on it.
But we can still.
I'm
We'll,
okay with trying it.
Okay, so we'll still, for the purposes of, here, we'll, just like when you all came down here today, you had the hard copies, we can still do the same thing, but there is still a deduction of the cost of mailing it.
I'm proud of you, Chris.
So yeah, we just wanted to bring it up for consideration, and let's see how it goes. If it gives us too much heartburn, then we can try something else. But yeah, staff's goal is to go digital as much as possible. So
Need a motion for that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, I agree, we do need copies when we come here.
Absolutely, and we'll still provide that.
Perfect. Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yay.
Anyone else? All right. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
All right.